Your baby was born, but what if your husband is now struggling too? Have you noticed that your partner seems more withdrawn, irritable, or disconnected since becoming a dad? Have you wondered if the stress of new parenthood is affecting him more deeply than either of you expected? And what if the man you love is carrying his own postpartum battle in complete silence? In this episode, we're talking about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention: postpartum depression in men. Because while so much of the conversation rightly focuses on moms, the truth is that fathers can struggle with the birth of a baby too. Today, we're diving into the top 3 signs that your husband or partner may be suffering, and how you can begin to recognize when something more than ordinary stress might be going on. Do you want practical steps to rein in the overwhelm and start feeling like yourself again, but struggle with feeling hopeless, unsupported, and misunderstood? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Stephanie, wife, mom of 4, and a 2-time acute postpartum depression survivor. I learned the secrets of how to overcome the feeling of drowning and fully thrive as a new mom through life-giving hope and support. If you're ready for validation, encouragement, and those easy practical tips, then take a deep breath in, exhale, and we'll take the first steps together. Here we go. Did you know that I have a free community of mamas just like you, new moms who are struggling to survive, much less thrive, and are looking for hope, encouragement, and validation? We share life together, there's a short weekly devotion, encouraging quotes, and so much more. There are even chances to win free coffee and prizes. Come join us at bit.ly/PPD support group. One of the hardest parts of my postpartum journey wasn't watching myself struggle. It was watching my husband struggle too. When our first daughter was born, we were living overseas in Asia, thousands of miles away from our family and everything familiar. We were first-time parents trying to navigate sleepless nights, cultural differences, and the crushing reality that I was slipping into severe postpartum depression. To be honest, I was so consumed by my own pain that I didn't initially realize what all of this was costing him. I saw him staying up late to help with the baby. I saw him making meals and taking on extra responsibilities. I saw him trying to comfort me when I was crying on the bathroom floor or spiraling into fear. What I didn't see right away was how alone he felt. Because while everyone was asking how I was doing, very few people asked how he was holding up. He was trying to be strong for me, trying to protect our daughter, trying to keep our ministry going, trying to convince himself that if he could just hold everything together a little longer, eventually things would get better. But carrying that much weight changes a person. I remember moments when he seemed quieter than usual, moments when stress made him short-tempered or distant, moments when I could tell that he was exhausted in a way that sleep alone couldn't fix. And honestly, neither of us had the language for what was happening, because nobody had ever told us that dads can struggle after baby is born too. Nobody had explained that postpartum depression and anxiety can affect fathers, especially when their partner is suffering. Sleep is non-existent, finances are tight, and life feels completely upside down. We thought postpartum depression and mental health struggles belonged to moms. We had no idea that dad could find himself drowning in that storm as well. When people hear the words postpartum depression, most immediately picture a new mother. But the truth is that men can experience depression and anxiety after the birth of a child too. And because it often looks different in fathers than it does in mothers, it can easily go unnoticed. Today, we're going to talk about 3 signs that your husband or partner may be struggling and why recognizing them matters. So number 1, he seems more irritable or angry than usual. Depression in men doesn't always look like sadness. Sometimes it looks like frustration or short tempers or withdrawal, snapping over small things that oftentimes they wouldn't have snapped at. Many men are taught from a young age to hide vulnerability, so emotional pain often comes out sideways. Maybe your husband used to be patient, but lately he seems constantly annoyed. The baby crying feels unbearable to him. Small inconveniences turn into major arguments. He gets frustrated more quickly than he used to. That doesn't automatically mean he has postpartum depression, but it may be a sign that something deeper is going on. So instead of assuming he's simply in a bad mood, try approaching him with curiosity. Say something like, "You seem like you've been carrying a lot lately. How are you really doing?" Sometimes opening the door to an honest conversation is the first step. Number 2, he pulls away from the people and things he loves. One common sign of depression is withdrawal. Your partner may stop reaching out to friends. He may lose interest in hobbies. He may spend more time alone or emotionally check out at home. Many dads feel pressure to keep working, providing, and supporting everyone else, which can make them hide what they're experiencing. Maybe he used to enjoy watching football with friends or working on projects around the house, but lately he mostly sits in silence. He comes home from work and immediately shuts down. He says he's just tired, but something just feels different. Again, exhaustion is a perfectly normal part of new motherhood, but persistent disconnection deserves attention. What can help is to try creating space for conversation without pressure. Say something like, I know we've both been through a lot since the baby arrived. I just want to check in and make sure you're okay. You don't have to diagnose him. You simply have to let him know that he doesn't have to carry everything alone. And then number 3, he feels constantly overwhelmed or like he's failing. So, Mama, becoming a new parent changes everything. Many dads quietly wrestle with questions like, am I providing enough? Am I a good father? Why does this feel harder than I expected? Why can't I fix this? That was a big one for Adam. When postpartum depression or anxiety enters the picture, especially if mom is struggling too, those thoughts, many of them normal, can become overwhelming. Maybe your husband keeps saying things like, I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I can't help. Or everything depends on me right now. Underneath those statements may be fear, sadness, or a sense of helplessness that he doesn't know how to express. What can help? Remind him, you don't have to have all the answers. Or you're allowed to struggle too. Or getting help doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human, and humans need support. Encouraging him to talk to a trusted friend, doctor, pastor, or counselor can make an enormous difference. So let's recap. Postpartum depression doesn't only affect moms. In men, depression often looks different. So watch out for increased irritability or anger, and pay attention to withdrawal and disconnection. Notice signs of overwhelm or feelings of failure. And most importantly, Mama, remember that dads deserve support too. If your husband or partner hasn't seemed like himself since the baby arrived, I want you to hear this. He may not know how to put his feelings into words. He may believe that everyone else needs him to stay strong. He may think his struggles don't matter because you're the one who gave birth. But pain doesn't disappear simply because someone hides it well. If anyone knows that, it's me. The transition into parenthood changes both parents, and sometimes the strongest thing a family can do is admit that everyone is having a hard time. There's no shame in struggling. There's no shame in asking for help, even when it's hard. And whether you're the mom, the dad, or the partner standing beside someone you love, you do not have to walk this road alone. There is hope, and I am living proof of that. Mama, don't forget to come join us in our private Facebook group at bit.ly/PPD support group. If this episode is triggering for you and you feel you need additional help to process your thoughts or feelings, please call or text the Postpartum Support International Hotline at 1-800-944-4773 or visit them online at postpartum.net.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of my mom's show.
If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a mom friend who may be struggling to feel like herself and is in need of some encouragement today?
Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It blesses my mom's heart to know this podcast is helping you.
Okay, time to go change a diaper and do the school run. I'll meet you back in a few days for another episode.
Take care.